Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Do It Yourself Harley Davidson. And in this episode, what I'm going to do is, as you can tell, I've got quite a bit more done. Basically, of course, got the heads on from a previous video. I did screw the housing for the starter and the solenoid on. I did prep my bolts, clean them, all that good stuff, and did go ahead and put NIC's compound on them and go ahead and run them in the holes. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these. And we're gonna go ahead and put the heads on in this video. Uh, and I want to do that just to so I don't have to do it while it's on the bike, but it's gonna add a lot of weight. So when you when you get ready to go ahead and put this on the bike physically, um, probably need a partner. I would recommend one, unless you just you're really strong and you can do it, because that's what I'm going to do. But I still will have a partner, which is my girlfriend, of course, and I'm just going to have her hold the bike. That way, when I get it over there, I don't tip it trying to get it in, tip the bike, because that would suck, and then having to carry it back over here. But the head bolts are, depending on temperature, the weather, where you are, where you live, you might need to factor in a little bit of into account the cold. And I say this because I've had problems where I've torqued it down to specs and it'd be freezing outside, and then all of a sudden when it warm up, everything expands, and then I've got a leak. Well, that's not something you want. So we're going to go ahead and stick this on here. Make sure you got the right one. Don't be like me and don't forget to mark them. But it's pretty much get the holes lined up. Look down through the top here. Get the holes lined up. Make sure everything's seated correctly. Try to get it pushed on as far as you can with your hand. Make sure there's no debris inside here. Make sure there's no debris. Okay. And I got something going on there. Oh, there it is. I did have a little bit of debris here. Apparently it was where some paint had seeped over and got into the fork here, or the area where it's going to be sitting at, which it happens. So once again, I got a nice little handy brush that I use to make sure. Well, let's try this again. And it seems a little bit like along that edge. It could be. There we go. Just seems a little bit finicky about that, but I believe that's probably just, yeah. Huh. I don't know. You just, like I said, you definitely just want to make sure that everything is out of the way. It's probably because of the gasket itself. is flipped up a little bit, so it's probably giving me a little bit of a pain. But that's okay. So, but it looks. There we go. It's not working. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. So once the head is basically put on there, you put the head bolts in. Now, some people are going to say replace your head bolts and all that good stuff, but you can do that if you want to. I don't. Like I said, I just torque them a little over. And back to what I was saying, if it is cold outside, they call for 60 to 65 pounds on these. Well, if you live in a good hot area that your weather's always like that, that'll probably be all right. But if it's cold outside, you probably should go up, I would say, and this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it all the way to about 70 pounds. It doesn't hurt nothing. Doesn't hurt your head, doesn't hurt all that stuff. Things are pretty tough. So, but we don't want to torque it all the way down to 70, 75, or 60, 65. But it's anywhere from 60, I'd say, to about 72. But I would recommend just going to 72, especially if your temperatures change. Basically, if you plan on riding in the winter and things like that, I would go ahead and take it up. So what we got going on here is I'm going to do this in stages. Now you could do it exactly like in my videos that I'm showing you now, and you won't ever have a problem. But I'm going to take this up in stages. There's a good old torque wrench. But we're going to want to get, I'm going to take it to 72 pounds. So there's 20. In fact, we're going to start with a low poundage increment, probably somewhere around 10 pounds. Actually, we'll take it to 15. We'll start out with 15 pounds. Screw your torque wrench in to lock her down. 15 pounds. Now 15 pounds is not a lot, I know, but we're definitely trying to get this copper to conform correctly. So go all the way around. 15 pounds can pretty much be put on by hand. I think that was a click. Not sure if that was. Okay, I know that's more than 15 pounds. Right there. Okay, there we go. Ask me what happened there. Okay, that's 15 pounds. And this is just going to get it started. It's 15 pounds. Like I said, I want this copper to form correctly. And so I'm going to slowly take mine up in a series of 3 or 4, maybe more. So let's go up to 40 or 30. Go up to 30. 20. £30. There's 30. Again. Okay, now what I like to do is, when it reaches this particular point, because see, these are old copper style gaskets for this, and I'm not a big fan of failure, so I'm always taking preventative measures. So basically what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to look and inspect, make sure everything is okay. I may let this sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to do the front cylinder. Let that kind of iron itself out a little bit. Let's get it conforming to the copper to the metal, and all those little indentions and things like that we can't see. Like I said, you definitely want to use some anti-seize compound. Comes a little low silver jar like this, a little anti-seize lubricant, and I would definitely recommend you using it. It's going to be a lifesaver in the long run for you. With it being inside them holes and things like that, it's going to prevent the seizing, because most bolts are steel, and then most heads are aluminum or cast, in which, of course, it doesn't mix. Chemically, they just don't mix. So it forms rust and oxidation and everything else. So we've taken it to 30 pounds already, and then so 15 and 30 is what I'm doing, and then I'll take it up to about 45, 50 pounds. Like I said, I'm gonna do this as a series of steps. I don't want to just throw it up at 60 pounds or 65. I think the book calls for 65 pounds, but because it's cold, I'm going to take it to 72, where it's a little chilly. I wouldn't say cold, but the metal's cold, so that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, you could follow exactly by the book, or you could do it my way. Let's put it this way, it's never failed. So once again, I'm going to check my seating area for debris. And I got a little bit in here. My paint runneth over, even though I taped it off. So it fails. So scrape this paint out of here. Take our lucky brush here. Dust it out. Polish this up here. Now, I decided to take a chance though, in these little oil holes. Most of the time around these old copper gaskets like this, what I like to do is I'll put just a little bit of RTV gasket sealer around them. And what that does is it helps prevent the leakage. But considering that these are new, and I'm guessing I won't have a problem, and at least I'm hoping not. But I never fails with copper gaskets. I've never failed. I'll always have a leak. Most of the time, you have to put RTV. Majority of the time. So I'm just hoping you don't have to deal with these. which from everybody I asked, you don't have to. Okay, so we're going to set this on. Like I said, line it up via the holes and just set her on there. And that's it. Now we'll put our bolts in. We'll go 15 and 30. It's turning out real good. Look at these heads. Real sharp. Let me do a little adjusting on the camera here. Got a little sun in the background there. I'm trying to get rid of that. Now I did paint these, of course, and of course I did cover these up. I put just a regular old masking tape on them, covered them up, and I sanded them down the best I could. I'm not gonna, spend 5 hours on each freaking cylinder sanding it down, which I probably could have spent that amount, but I'm not gonna do that. Get these screwed down by hand here. Make sure my camera angle's good here. You guys can see what's going on. We'll go ahead and move it over a little bit, get rid of some of that glare. That white trailer, that tell you what, it does put a little kink in things sometimes. Here, we'll take her up. I need to be a cameraman now. That's what I need to just go do. I'm getting good with this thing. No, just kidding. Okay. So, sorry about my big ass head. Just want to make sure this thing goes on here correctly. So what we got going on here is, make sure it's good and centered here. Definitely want to do that. And screw them down. Okay, so it's screwed down by hand. So we're going to take it to 15 pounds. $15. Okay. I said 15 pounds is not a lot. Most people can apply that by hand, but that's not what I'm looking to do. And we want to do a crisscross pattern. Forgot to mention that. Do a crisscross pattern. Doesn't matter. An X pattern, something like that. If you don't, it's okay. I know some people that do a roll around pattern. That way the gasket kind of rolls around. And it works too. But if you do what the Harley manual says, I believe it says, which I ain't never used the Harley manual before, they tell you use a crisscross pattern. So we'll take, now I'm going to take this one to 30, 20, 30. Start the first one. 30, across. 30. 30. And 30. So now it's all at 30 pounds. So this one's good now, and this one's definitely has done conformed to what I want. So we're going to take this up to 45. Go up another 15 pounds. So we got 40 and 5. And this is going to require a little bit more strength here. So we'll start here. Hopefully I won't throw this motor off. I don't even know if I'm going to get this up to 70. Okay. Cross. There we go. There goes again. And just nice smooth motion. Don't jerk on it because it'll automatically click for you and you think you got it. There you go. Like I said, nice smooth motions. And like I said, I'm doing this in a series of 4. I may actually do 5. I might take it up to 55 and then do my final 70. And like I said, it's all about how it conforms to the metal. And I want to make sure that it, no matter how many steps I decide to do, I want to make sure that that metal is going to have the best possibility of sealing those two surfaces. So, but this one, I think it's probably had plenty of time to sit. And for some reason, I don't know why. No. I'm not thinking that for. But take my hat off here so I can get down here and look. Okay, we got a little. I was looking to see why the copper was pushed out a little bit. The copper gasket looked like it was pushed out or sitting off a little bit, but it's in good shape. I thought maybe I did something wrong. This is always important to double check yourself. So apparently I'm good. I'm just an old worry wart sometimes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start up here this time. And we're going to get this to 45. Okay. And come across. Pull this back till it hits 45. 45. 45. There we go. Now, like I said, you definitely want to make sure you have this on the right side. You don't want to have the exhaust side, hooked up the wrong way or anything of that nature. The wrong valves. You'll have it seriously messed up situation. And you can do it. You can do that. So, okay. So I guess we'll go ahead and take it up to, well, I'll go ahead and take it up to 55. 50, 55. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it to 60 or 58, and then we'll go straight to 70 from there. Go 58. Since this one was the last one I've done, start with this one first. Hopefully, we can do this. Okay. Okay, that was done at 58. Yeah, like I said, my final number is going to be about 70, 72. It's depending on how cold it is outside. And I probably will do, most likely, if this metal's still cold, which I'll just get an adjustment by hand. This metal's pretty warm. So I probably will just go ahead and take it to 70 pounds. It calls for 65. I may actually do like 68. Yeah. Okay, so let's get on this one here. Okay. 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 So there that is. And like I said, you want to hop from cylinder to cylinder. You don't want to just tighten this one down fully. Give it time. Give that copper time to form. Okay. So we're going to take this up to, I won't go all the way to 70. I'll go to 68. Here's 50. 60. Oh, wait a minute. Go 68. Not too far. If I go up to 80 pounds, don't do that. Okay, so good there. We'll start again. Okay. Nope. Okay, and that's my final torque on that one. Now we'll move to this one and give it the final torque. Okay. Okay. And there we go. So we're fully torqued at 68 pounds. And the reason why I went 3 above was because it's a little bit cold. Not bad, but it's a little bit. And when it gets hot, I want that to be able to expand. And if it expands, it'll be at 65 pounds exactly. Pretty close, give or take a little bit. So, take your torque wrench back down to 0. Lock her down. And you're pretty much done. Now, one thing I also like to do is, and I'm not going to of course do it in the video, I'm going to wait probably about another hour or so. And I'll come back out and I will check these. Just to make sure that they're at 68 pounds. Give or take the expansion, things like that, cold, all that good stuff. And definitely don't want to Just making sure everything's good. But definitely don't want to install this back on there and all of a sudden you got a head gasket leak. So, but with that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. This is Do It Yourself Harley, and I'll see you next time.